What's going on, my co-creators? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Just taking me a little walk in the park. I already did my my run through the trail, but I'm walking back out here just to shoot a video with you right quick. Well, actually, I did a run. I ran through it one time. Like I said, it's about 2.2 miles. I did my run, jog through it, and then I walked through it the second time. Mostly walked. I did jog some of that one too. So anyway, so now I'm just doing another little walkthrough a little bit, just, you know, to talk to y'all. Need some different scenery right here. Anyway, hope you're having a great day co-creating your day, because you are in charge of that. And you know, you're the only one responsible for doing that. You got to remember that. You are responsible for how your day goes and how it flows. You are the co-creator of your life. Always remember that. Definitely. Ooh, gotta watch my step here. Anyway, man, so much stuff to talk about. Always so much stuff to talk about. I was just thinking about everything going on in the world right now, and I was like, damn, you know, what's so different about me? Like, why do I perceive a lot of things? I mean, I've always did. It's gotten, you know, better or worse, whatever way you want to look at it, over the years. But I think it was a point where I started kind of waking up to reality and seeing how things really worked in this world. And I wasn't really seeking that. It just kind of happened, and it didn't happen all at one time. It kind of slowly happened. And it was kind of a shocker, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, y'all gotta excuse me. Got people walking by. How y'all doing? And so anyway, it's kind of a shocker, some of the things that I started to realize. And I've been trying to figure out a way to do like a video, like explaining what are some of the things that you start to notice or start to happen to you when you start to wake up to the reality of this world, the reality of existence, when you start to see yourself not just as what you look like in the mirror, but as an infinite being that's always been around and will always be around. You know, it's kind of a shocking feeling, you know what I'm saying? You kind of feel a little alone, a little separate. Everything in the world starts seeming a little fake and phony. Like, everything starts seeming fake and phony. You start seeing people like really clear from Jump Street who they really are. They can't really hide from you. And it's kind of funny, because sometimes some people, they won't like you because they won't even know why they won't like you consciously, but subconsciously something about they won't like you because they know you can see right through them, and so they kind of avoid you because, you know, you don't really subscribe to their BS or whatever. So it's kind of like it's a slow grind. Like I said, I've been trying to come up with a list, but it's hard to come up with a list because, you know, this stuff been happening to me slowly over years. You know, it seemed like a lot of it happened a couple of years ago, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. Like, stuff I used to be really interested in, it just didn't keep my attention anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, for one thing, like, I love sports. I love football. I like playing it. I like looking at it sometimes. But at one time, I was like a fanatic. I mean, I was all into this stuff. I mean, I wasn't gonna miss a game on Sunday regardless when my team was playing. And I still enjoy watching it, but I definitely lost a lot of interest in it, like, overnight. And I was kind of like a little ashamed about it a little bit, like, damn, a lot of my relationships that I had over the years were based around, you know, watching sports and hanging out and drinking and doing stuff like that together. But all of a sudden, I just wasn't interested in a lot of that stuff anymore. It just didn't hold my attention anymore. And that was kind of hard to accept. And so that's one of the things that I noticed that I stopped kind of being able to deal with when I started waking up. It wasn't interesting for me anymore. Like TV, stuff on TV, I couldn't, like, especially commercials. Like, I can accept like a TV show, okay, they're acting, it's entertainment, But as far as like commercial and advertising, I started to see how strong this stuff is and how manipulative it is. I mean, this stuff is powerful. These people know exactly what they're doing. I started seeing it. Like, I couldn't stand to watch any commercials, especially like, and then I stopped watching TV altogether. I got rid of cable and all that stuff. And every now and then, I would be at someone's house or sitting somewhere in a waiting room, and commercials will come on, or TV will come on, and I'll be looking at it. And I'm like, man, this is what people have been watching. And I'll see all those, like, overnight, the TV was just full of commercials for medication. That was like that just happened overnight. I'm like, damn, all these medication commercials. It was just a lot at one time, and I'm like, damn, they are really just saturating us with this. And I remember, even back before I started waking up, I remember I was tired of TV then, because I used to live with someone, and she used to just like having the TV on in the house for no reason. Even if we wasn't in the room with the TV, it'd just be on. And I used to just turn it off when I leave out the room. And she wouldn't even be in the room, couldn't even hear the TV, but she'll come back in the room an hour later. Why you turn the TV off? I'm like, cause wasn't nobody in there watching the damn thing. It wasn't even about electricity. It was about just that junk just being emptied out into the air of my home. It's like I didn't want that crap just being poured into my ears, into my family's ears. It was just a lot of crap being pumped out there, commercial after commercial. Same old stuff, nothing good. And so, yeah, I was intolerable of it then, even though I wasn't fully paying attention to what was going on. Another thing I started not being able to tolerate is like certain language. Like, and I know words are just sounds, they're just vibrations coming out of your vocal cords and being decoded by your brain in the minds of others, the brains of others, and it means to them whatever it means to them, means to you whatever it means to you. But if it has a negative idea about it, it's a word that has like a negative meaning to it, it has a negative effect on you. And so I was very intolerant of certain language being used around me. I didn't want to hear negative stuff because I knew that it was like eating bad food. I was taking it in. Became very sensitive to my environment when I started waking up. That's another thing. Music wise, man, it's like, I love hip hop, love rap, love all that, love a lot of R&B and all that stuff, but some stuff I had to stop listening to because the words was just like, there was too much negativity, too much of it, too many words, too much energy that wasn't pulling me up. It was pulling me down. And so I had to siphon myself off of the music to a degree. And so those are a few of the things that started happening once I started, waking up and not subscribing to all the things that I used to subscribe to. And what else? Oh yeah, food was a big thing too. And it still is. It's like once you start waking up to the world and the foolishness that's going on around the world and around you, you start seeing food for what it really is, especially like processed foods. You just start seeing it as junk. And, I didn't start off as a health nut. I wouldn't even call myself a health nut now. I mean, probably some people would because of the way I eat, but I wouldn't necessarily call myself a health nut. But I started seeing food as like, I started saying, oh, this is real, this is fake. I couldn't eat fake food. And when I would try to eat it, which I have eaten it, it would taste like I would almost taste like a chemical taste on top of the food they was trying to make. It was almost like I was eating some kind of paste or something. It's a weird thing. And so, yeah, certain foods I just couldn't eat anymore. I couldn't drink certain drinks. I couldn't drink like energy drinks and stuff like that. I used to drink a lot of energy drinks because I used to do a lot of contract work on the road. I used to be on the road all the time. And so I used to drink that crap thinking it was helping me out, but it wasn't really doing nothing. Just putting junk in my body. But I couldn't even fathom putting that stuff in my mouth right now. And so there's a lot of little weird things that kind of start happening to you when you start to see the world as it really is. You can't, the news starts seeming phony to you. Just the way politicians talk, the cadence in which they say things, the phrases that they use, everything that starts sounding phony and fake and like you're being played. Everything that seems fake and phony, you start to see that everything is a game and you're just a pawn in the game. If you're not playing, if you're not thinking, you start to get more spiritual. You start to kind of ease away from religious labels. You have nothing against religion. Whatever mode you got to use to get to where you're trying to go, that's fine. But you start to kind of lose interest in having labels as religion. You become more of a spiritual person. You become more open. You become more respectful to other people's beliefs. You're not putting everybody in a box saying, if you don't believe this, you're not this or that. You're not intelligent if you don't believe that, and all that. So you start to do that, and little things. I remember I'm not really like a car person. I mean, I like cars, but I'm not like give me a muscle car. I'm not really crazy about it, but I do like nice cars, but I'm not like really into it. But I remember I started like looking around on the road, and I was like, damn. I said, really? All these damn cars look exactly the same. I mean, yeah, they look different on the outside, but if you take the panels off of these cars, they look exactly the damn same. And I'm like, I was just thinking about them back in the days, like if you had a certain car, even like back in the 70s and 80s, if you took all the panels off those cars, you could look at the frame, you could tell what kind of car it is, without even seeing a label or a panel on it or nothing. Just a frame, you could tell what type of car it is, what make and model. But nowadays, like all the cars, they pretty much they look the same. I'm not saying they have the same quality engine. I'm not saying that they handle the same, but the way they look, they're very, very similar. It's like everything started looking fake and phony and just kind of barely put together. It didn't seem that, I didn't see the variety anymore that I saw when I was fully sleeping and not awake. And so those are just a few things. Like I said, it's hard for me to really sit here and list a lot of things because it's a slow grind. It's a slow process. It don't just all happen at one time. I mean, for some people it may, but for me, it's been a little bit at a time. So I can't really sit here and describe like every single little thing. You know, I would have to really go back into an old journal or something and try to figure that out. But just know if you're having you're starting to see things in a different light, especially with all the craziness going on in the world right now, it should be pretty easy to start seeing a lot of things in a different light because a lot of things are being exposed right now for what they really are, So anyway, I figured I'd make that video. Hopefully it helps some people. You're not tripping, you're not going crazy. You might feel a little anxious because a lot is going on. You might feel like your world is falling apart a little bit, like everything is changing around you. But that's a good thing though. That means that the fake and the phoniness is breaking down. And you're gonna see, relationships that you think are strong, they're not gonna be able to survive it. Just know that. You gotta put some people on hold or totally lose some people altogether. And when you're awake, you're not afraid of that. You're not shaken by that. Oh yeah, here's another big one. This one can be a little hard for people to swallow. I realized a couple of years ago that I don't have a fear of death anymore. I mean, of course, I'm not trying to go right now. I take care of myself. I don't go run out in the middle of traffic. I don't do crazy stuff. I try not to be too reckless, but I don't fear the unknown of death anymore. I used to be terrified about it. And don't get me wrong, I still have my moments where I'd be like a little shook up about it. But overall, I'm not fearful of that anymore. And I'm telling you, when you stop fearing death, when you stop worrying about dying and being sick from fake ass viruses, and when you just take care of yourself and have confidence about who you are, that you're a spiritual being that's always been around, will always be around, that your consciousness lasts forever, they can't pull certain stuff on you. You can't be fooled by dumb stuff. You can't be scared into submission. Nobody can make you shut down your life and destroy your family, your livelihood, take away your self-respect, your what's the word? Can't think of the word, but take away your self-respect out of fear. You're not scared anymore. You're not afraid. You just don't have it in you when you're not afraid of death. You can't be afraid of that. That's how they get you. That's how they get us. They make us afraid to die. And then we start acquiescing and going along with everything. It's sad. It's really sad. It's a shame. But that's what happens. And so anyway, y'all cannot be afraid to, I'm not saying you should go going around looking for death, because I want to be around as long as possible, but you're not afraid of it. You're not nervous. You're not going to base your decisions in life. You're not going to give up your dignity trying to take an extra breath. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. My dignity is way more important than an extra breath. That's the real deal. But you gotta, if you understand that, you gotta prepare for that. You gotta put things in place. You gotta know, okay, any day it could happen, which is true regardless of how you're living your life. And you can't just be irresponsible about that. You got to be prepared. So, but if you're not afraid to die, if you're not afraid of death, nobody can punk you in this life. And I'm not talking about no physical fights and violence. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these governments and these officials trying to make us do all this ridiculous stuff and follow all these stupid ass rules and got us jumping through hoops and doing dumb stuff, all because of fear. Are you a coward or what? Don't be a coward. Where's your faith at in your belief system, in your religion? Come on now. It comes down to that, man. You can't let these people rule you. I've seen some people that I've known my whole life that actually taught me how to think outside the box and how to be fearless and how to be just not follow along with the crowd. That was a big old spider. I guess I'm a little fearful. Anyway, taught me how to not to follow on to the crowd, and I look up now and they terrified following on with the crowd. It's a shame. It's weird. So anyway, give y'all a little panoramic right here. We can't be afraid of death and all that stuff. That's not what we're here to do. We're not here to be afraid of that. So anyway, this video is long, and I know there's a lot more things that you notice when you start to wake up. There's a lot more things that happen. I can go on and on with this video, and I know it's incomplete, but I wanted to just go ahead on and put something out there, because I know a lot of people are starting to get it nowadays, and I just want y'all to know that you're not alone. You are not alone, just like Michael Jackson said. You're not alone. And so anyway, I love you, my co-creators. Keep on co-creating, keep on doing great things in life, and go outside today, at least 30 minutes cardio, get some sweat out your body, get what else? Get your heart rate up. You see that sweat? I already wiped my face. I should have stayed all sweaty for y'all in the face before I made this video, so y'all can see the proof. But anyway, yeah, do that. Do 10 minutes meditation. That's what I'm going to do that once I get back to my home. What else? Turn off the news. Turn off the news. Turn off the news. And what else? What else? Oh, leave your cell phone at home sometime, folks. I love you, my co-creators, and I'll talk to you later. Ooh, that's long. 18 minutes. Woo. All right. Bye-bye.